Gurukas say that marriage forces you to look in the mirror to confront yourself when you normally wouldn't want to confront yourself. And one thing that Arjun said was that if once you confront your spouse and you maybe get in a little fight and you end up resolving something, and then that's over, and then you move on to the next level. And so it sounded like the explanation to marriage is a carriage unto infinity. I just want to know, is that, I'm trying to paint a picture of what that sentence means. Marriage is a carriage unto infinity. Is that an accurate description?
Do you remember when Guru Kakar was talking about my falling off the roof? And she said marriage is an institution, and the institution of marriage carried us through that period of total stress in our lives. That's what marriage is a carriage that carries you into infinity means. It means that when you invest in your commitment, and your commitment deepens and deepens and becomes richer and richer, and the experience of your marriage becomes strong and an abiding part of your consciousness, that it will carry you through things in your life that would be much more difficult otherwise. It's not that you're leaning on your spouse. It's that the time and space creates a situation where the marriage allows you to go through that. So at some point, one partner may bear more weight. At another point, another partner may bear more weight. A husband may be out of work and a wife may have to work. Roles may be reversed at different times. One person may be sick and the other person is a caretaker for that person. So, or injured, as it was in my case. So there's lots of stresses. There's the normal day-to-day stresses of children and things, but then there are stresses of things that happen in your life that are literally life-changing events. At that point, your marriage can carry you through. So the test of the marriage is, do people turn away because it's too stressful and I can't deal with it? So I'm going to go immerse myself in my work, or I'm going to go away. I want to stay out of the house. I want to be away from it. Do I find that I need to escape from the marriage? That's not a marriage. A real marriage is where you become blended into one. Because, if you look up the word marriage in the dictionary, one of the meanings of the word marriage is that things become married together, that the flavors blend into one, It's like you let the flavors marry overnight, like in a recipe. That's what happens. You become so blended into the other person. Not that you lose your identity, but that you become enhanced in your identity. The other person becomes enhanced in their identity. And yet there's a whole deeper level where it's like, it looks like, two trees are growing, but the roots are totally one set of roots together. So what looks like two is really one.
What does the term marriage is a carriage unto infinity mean to you?
That marriage is the highest yoga. If you're using your marriage to be a yoga, if you're thinking of your marriage to bring you with the union with yourself. So yes, it's a tool. If you can use your marriage for a tool. And I don't remember what is the expression, Grisht Ashran, Mahan Ashran, Devi.
That the married life is the highest ashram, and even the gods and goddesses are jealous.
So that goes back to, what are you using your marriage for? If you use your marriage for your dumping place, you come home and this is the person you're comfortable with, so you throw your garbage in the space and you say anything you want to say, then that's probably not a marriage that's going to take you unto infinity. You have to be consciously creating a marriage space that elevates and helps you in your path towards infinity. So I think that's there, but you've got to want to do it. You've got to take responsibility for it.
Well, most people, when they first get married, have a sense of the sacredness of marriage. The question is, does your marriage stay sacred? And one of the things that Yogiji told us was, when you go through the Lawan, through the 4 rounds of the marriage, that happens every day in your life. You go through those 4 rounds. And that when you're having a hard time in your marriage, sit down and read the Lawan together. And feel it and experience it, not just read it by rote. So another technique that you can use is that, which is to read the Lawan and understand it together. Because at different parts and stages of your relationship, you have different insights into the meaning of the Lawan and how powerful it is. And Guru Ram Das Ji wrote it for his own marriage. So it's an incredibly powerful Bani, which is not part of our Panchmaniyam, but it's something that is very valuable.